Hello all, welcome back to She Loves God video blog. And this is a video that I think will be very fitting for Father's Day. And it is based in Luke chapter 15. And I'm going to skip a lot of verses because I'm only trying to get to a certain passage. But let's start at verse 1 just to give you some background on what this is, or who this is talking to and who the speaker is. Okay, Luke chapter 15. Verse 1. Then drew near unto him all the publicans and sinners for to hear him. And him is Jesus. Verse 2. And the Pharisees and scribes murmured, saying, This man receiveth sinners, and eateth with them. Verse 3. And he spake this parable unto them. Okay, now let's get down to verse 11. And he said, a certain man had two sons. So we're talking about, this is a parable, meaning this is a story. And we know when Jesus gave parables, it was usually to explain to humans something in the spiritual world that you can't really understand easily. So he broke stuff down in parables or into stories that they're kind of like hypothetical stories in a way. Because they kind of explain to you like how stuff is in the kingdom, how it will be in the kingdom for you. So the parables don't necessarily have to have happened. They're good stories to give you an idea of what's going on or what will go on in the spirit world. So verse 11, and he said, a certain man had two sons. Verse 12, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living. So I guess he got his half of the whole inheritance, because there were two sons they mentioned. So he got his half. Verse 13, and not many days after, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. Now, this video is for, it's really for backsliders, or for people who are ex-Christians, or people, who once believed in Jesus, once believed in God, and then have fallen away because of lack of faith. And then maybe you're wondering, maybe you're thinking, okay, maybe I should come back. Maybe the church is not fake. Maybe the Bible is real. So you all want to come back. So this video is for you who want to come back, or who are considering coming back. Some of you all may feel as if you can't come back. You may feel as if, I've sinned too long. I've lied to too many people that God wasn't real. I've been an atheist for this many years, and you might realize that, atheism is wrong, but then you feel as if because you've been in it so long that you can't really turn back. Well, I'm here to tell you all, it's never too late to come back. So, this video is for you all. So, Luke chapter 15, verse 13 says, so the younger son, not many days after he got his inheritance, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country. And there wasted his substance, his half of the inheritance, with riotous living. Now we can start right there and see that reminds us of some of us. In that, we get all that we got, all of our talents, our gifts, our abilities, and you take our journey into a far country. We are saved. We're found at home. We're found in the church. We get bored. We want to leave. Want to have some fun. Want to do our thing. And so we go off into a far country. And I liken that to us, those of us who went into the deep end. You went far off. You went far off the deep end. You went way too far. You might have, before you might have just told a lie and then repented and came back. But some of you all have went on the deep end. You've actually just totally just acted a fool. You might have totally gotten into homosexuality. You might have been a drug dealer. You might have been prostituting teenagers. Some of y'all have went far off, just like this prodigal son who went into a far country. Now the word prodigal is not in the Bible, but we say prodigal because this son, he wasted all his substance on riotous living. So prodigal means wasteful. And verse 13 says, there wasted his substance with riotous living. So some of you all have wasted your talents and your gifts. I automatically think of, two of the more popular rappers out there nowadays. That is Lil Wayne and Soulja Boy Tell 'Em. And they're very talented. I mean, I don't even support secular music really. If it has like violence or sexual lyrics in it, or calling people N-word, B-word, all this cursing. But I will admit, as a Christian, that they are very talented men, and they have a gift. They have a gift to put together lyrics, words, and beats. They're very talented, but they're wasting their substance on riotous living. They're wasting it to have these rock star lifestyles. God gave them abilities to write. They could have been like David and just write songs, write Christian songs, Christian music. But instead, they decided to use their gifts for to be rich, to have rock star lifestyles, to do secular lyrics. So they wasted their substance with riotous living, just like some of us do, and just like this prodigal son did. Verse 14, and when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want. And isn't that funny how after you spend all, then the famine wants to come? The famine could have came in the very beginning, and he could have just went back home, or he would have had money enough to go through the famine, but it happened to come right when he was at the end, right when he had spent all. He was at the end of his money, the end of his rope, the end of his inheritance money. Then a mighty famine wants to rise up in that land. Not just any old famine, but a mighty famine. Not just any where, but actually in that land the prodigal son was in. And the prodigal son began to be in want. Verse 15. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. So this prodigal son, I guess he was like what do they call them? They call them boarders or something. When you just live in someone's house and you pay a small fee for a bedroom. So he joined himself to a citizen of that country, someone who lived in that country where the famine was, and this man sent him into his fields to feed swine. So this boy who was once rich, his dad obviously had some money, or else he wouldn't have no inheritance. Only rich folks have inheritance for their kids, or at least enough, that he could squander, with riotous living. He couldn't have afforded a riotous lifestyle unless he had some kind of money. So his dad had money, but this rich boy, he should have been a spoiled brat, but this rich kid was over there abased to the point that he was feeding pigs. Dirty, stinking, big, fat, nasty pigs. And verse 16, and he would fain have filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. Now, I looked at the word fain, and it means like willingly, like you would have willingly, like you really honestly would have willingly done this thing. Let me see. Yeah, in a willing manner. He would have willingly filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat. Now, pigs are gross, and their food is gross, probably grosser than they are. If you've ever been on the country, my family lives in the country. Both my mom's side of the family, my dad's side of the family live in the country. So, I've been around pigs and stuff, and they smell horrible. Their food smells horrible. It's disgusting. Just all this pig slop. Now, maybe these pigs only ate corn husks, but still, I feel it has to be very degrading to eat stuff that pigs would eat. They feed these to some of the most filthiest animals on the face of the planet, and he was reduced to the point that he might actually eat pig food. And so he said he would have willingly filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. So we see here that he's at the end of his rope. In the beginning, he had everything he could want in his father's house, and then he got bored. Like I said, got bored, wanted to leave, wanted to live it up, wanted to live a rock star lifestyle like some of you all did. And then you find yourself broken. You find yourself literally broke. Now, when I say broken, I'm talking about like your soul, like you just broken down, like emotionally broken, spiritually broken, soul broken. This man here was actually financially broke. He had nothing left. And that's what some of you are. Some of you all have come to the end of your rope. You've reached the end of your fun lifestyle. Not fun anymore. You found yourself feeding pigs, so to speak. And you're even willing to eat the pig food. So that's where some of you all are right now. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to start back at part 2. So please look for part 2. Thank you.